Are you ready for the Low Blows Network? It's the show where you control what's on the agenda. Ask us anything and we're blood-bound to answer. Starring Rick Nash, Corporate King, and the Queen of Irish Wrestling, Katie Harvey. It's Ask Low Blows.
It's the show where you control the agenda, ask us literally anything, and we are blood-bound to answer. But the question I want to ask is, guys, how do you plan to coexist? Just a few weeks away from SummerSlam. The Woke Keens we announced on Wednesday's Low Blows. Katie Harvey, Corporate Keen. Do you think you can put your differences aside to have a crack at the goal? How is that going to work?
Well, if Kane can function as my left arm, because it's not great, that will be in good shape.
See, now, there are specific rules for Low Blows Tag Team Wrestling, right? So, no matter if you make a shot or hit a shot, the person has to take the next shot. We don't do... Now, we might... Keen can interfere. There can be double teams, but, like, he's got a 5 count. You know what I mean?
Okay.
So, like, if Keen, like, puts his hand on the table, it'd be like, 1, 2, 3, and you've got to hit that before the 5 count, or I'm disqualifying you. Yeah, there you go. So you got to think these things through.
I think we can coexist, because, like, as team captain, if Katie just listens to what I say, we can make things work and get the win, I feel.
You're not the captain.
Well, as the captain, I would like to say, well, I am the captain, so
you've already named the team after yourself without any discussion with me.
I mean, there's actually no Katie in that title.
No. And actually, the Woke Queens are my 2 mortal enemies. So I actually feel very uncomfortable with the name.
There's a K in there, and that's Katie, Woke. But we're the Woke Queens, so that's
you
important.
don't spell Keen with a K.
No, I said K for Katie. So it's like, we're both in it, but it's the Woke Queens, and I'm the captain.
This is to be debated for 4 hours on the way to court.
I was going to say, this is just not going to end like...
I'm looking forward to next week's Ask Low Blows, where it's like, we're not talking now. Brilliant, guys.
Where's Keane? He got dumped on the M50, that's why he's not
This is it. We told him to walk home. He's presumed dead. Guys, as usual, you ask us anything and we answer. Clueless Nerd got in touch and he asked, what are the little daily things that annoy you? 2 of mine are people that wait in queues with friends but aren't buying anything, and people not having money ready when getting to the top of a queue in a shop, holding it up. I fucking hate that. That's really annoying. Yeah, the not having money ready thing, when they're just like, you're in a queue for ages, and then like as they get to the top, they've got like a bottle of water, and they've just like take out their wallet like they've forgotten they have to pay, and like oh, and then you have to fucking watch them go through their fucking change. Nah, yeah, I'm totally with you on that one.
No, like that gives me anxiety. Like, okay, so one of the weird side effects of breaking my arms is I can't turn my palms to the ceiling. So I can't take change in a shop.
Right.
I can't. I'm showing you guys now.
You can't.
I can't.
Keen, this is like a disability.
I can't turn my hand up to the ceiling.
Oh,
and
shit.
For ages, I would be in a shop and they would go to hand me change and I would put my hand out and they
shake their hands.
The change would awkwardly slide off my hand onto the counter. And it took me, I was like, I'd be like, no, and then like, you guys can't see it, but I have to awkwardly angle my whole body and arm to take the change, or I have to receive the change like I'm receiving Holy Communion and do the double cup. So, like, I get very stressed out at the top of a busy queue if I have to pay. Like, I've been using my card for everything just because I can't handle this queue anxiety. And then they give me back change, and then I'm trying to get the receipt and the change into my wallet, and I don't have good mobility at all in my left hand. And so it's a whole thing. Jesus. So like now I know there's people behind me in the queue stressing, watching me, and like I hate it. It brings up anxiety.
No, it's not that. It's it's not even that, like waiting for people. It's not. It's when someone's not prepared for what's coming. It's when people are like, you had to know that like you were going to have to give money for this. You know what I mean?
The whole situation is fraught with anxiety now. The whole shop buying experience is just
Katie, like, I've never heard of someone like go through an injury where at the same time it's like genuine empathy, but also that's hilarious.
It's like one of the things, I was only talking to a friend today about the things they don't tell you after surgery that actually are hard to do.
Jesus.
Like, sorry Keane, playing pool is one of them. I I tried to play pool on holidays with Phil, and I can't extend my left arm fully.
Oh, Jesus.
Which means I can only play with about half the table. When I'm in casino, I can only reach 1/3 of the numbers at a time.
Jesus.
The croupier calls me elbows. So, sorry, this went madly off tangent.
Keen, little things that annoy you.
Little things that annoy me, just like in general.
Yeah, like every day.
I think like when a kid threatens to stab you, it really does piss me off because one, how did you get the knife? And two, like it's really bad manners. And I feel like you're a kid. How has nobody told you at any point that like threatening to stab someone is bad manners? You know what I mean? So that annoys me. Kids in general annoy me. Like I know that's rich coming from me. I'm like still pretty young and annoying myself. But like, do you ever have to eat with a toddler? And it's like they've got fucking like their mouth open and all the messy food and all this coming out. I'm like, like shut your mouth, you annoying little fucking.
And that's probably about the point they want to stab you.
One thing's leading to another here.
Yeah.
For me, a couple of things like shop-related queue thing. Oh, I have so many queue-related issues. Like, if you just want to give me on an issue-by-issue basis, I have a list for everything.
The airport queue is actually my answer.
Oh yeah.
You know, people are queuing and some people genuinely haven't been on a flight before, but there's enough information out there to know you need to put your liquids in a bag and maybe like don't wear belts, a cowboy hat, some spurs, a leather jacket with tassels. Just don't wear all that through the airport. Wear a pair of leggings and runners like a normal person.
Or people who queue for a half an hour to get on a flight where the seats are assigned. And it's like... Like I get why you're thinking. You're thinking I don't have to stand in the queue for a longer time while I wait for it to be seated and everyone else gets ahead of me. But you have to stand while you're queuing to get ahead. Like it balances out. Your seats are assigned. Sit the fuck down. Stop. And then like what happens is because someone else is queuing, especially in Ireland, everyone else has to be like, I'm not letting them get one ahead of me. Maybe I haven't thought of something. Oh, there's so many queue related things. Two things: mothers and elderly people, right? Mothers who think they can skip ahead of you because they have a pram. And it's like, no, like you cannot. Like, especially, this gets me when I'm in work and say I used to have half-hour breaks for a long time. So, like, I'll be rushing when I'm there. And I obey queue etiquette. I'm of anxiety, so etiquette is my gospel, like. You know what I mean? It's like, what is the proper way to do things? Because if I do it improperly, I'm going to worry for the day about that weird thing I did that no one even noticed. You know what I mean? So, elderly people as well, sometimes to just like walk right to the top of the queue and bypass the queue. Like, it's like, that's presumptuous. Like, ask me, or like, you know what I mean? Stand there and be old and let me go. Yeah, you know what I mean? Don't assume that, like, like, what happens is they remove any chance that you could say no. So it's not a courtesy, it's fuck you. You know what I mean? And it's like, I'm not going to feel sorry for you just because you haven't died. I'm not going to feel bad for you just because you've lived longer than me. You know what I mean? I would give you my seat. I would give you my place in the queue because, yeah, it takes you, like, it's tougher for you to stand up. That's fair enough. But, like, don't say fuck you, I'm going ahead of you in the queue. That bothers me. Like,
I have another queue related. This isn't even something that annoys me. It's just something that I read today on Twitter. That you know the way there's like an EU queue in the airport and it's shorter and it's quicker.
Yeah.
Apparently, someone saw like a British dad walking through and he refused to take the EU queue because we voted Brexit. We voted to leave, so he took the long like queue.
No!
What a hero!
That's commitment, if nothing else.
His name's probably like, I don't know.
Boris
Johnson. I won't go there because I met someone. I don't know, but yeah, probably a Barry or something.
Right.
He said Barry Stanton. Did you ever see that account on Twitter?
No.
It's like a parody Brexit dad parody account. It got taken down.
Right.
But yeah, definitely.
It's Laura B83 got on and said, in the latest Irish wrestler question, if Irish wrestlers were animals, who would be what? Clong Hedgehog came immediately to mind.
What?
Clong Hedgehog.
Butch
Just
Armstrong.
look at him, he has a hedgehog face.
Butch Armstrong's a little fucking snake and a little fucking rat and a little fucking female dog because he's a bitch. And I hate him. And if you follow Phoenix Wrestling like Laura Baird does, you would know that I'm right in everything that I say. He is all of those animals and I hate him. And that's my answer. That's my contribution to this question.
There you go. Irish wrestlers as animals.
It's not an animal, but Justy looks like a mermaid.
It's a kind of animal. In a fictional world, is a unicorn an animal or is it a fictional character?
Well, that's an Amy Alonzi, so
there you go. There's another one. So there. I hope that answers your question, Laura. I hope that's brought you clarity on that. Kendo CGFC got on and asked, what would be your walk-on song if you were in the World Grand Prix in City West? So darts. What would be your darts walk-on song?
I've thought about this a lot.
Right.
Like, I love how like wrestling darts is getting. Like, someone asked me today who my favourite darts player is, and it's Peter Wright, just because he does the entrance.
Yeah.
And, like, he just comes on and he's got, like, he always has different colour hair, and he does, like little raise his hands to the crowd and stuff. I can't remember what his song is, though. It's,
I can't remember.
Fucking, something dancey.
I'll find out. Go on.
And I don't have an answer for this. Some 90s dance song, I think.
It can't be like, it has to be something that people can sing. It has to be like a sing-songy type thing.
Yeah.
Like Tequila is a song that came to mind for me. I don't know if anyone uses that, and that's crime if they don't. But yeah, like, so it has to be something dancey. Do you know what doesn't get used? A wrestling song. Because you can just look at good, catchy indie wrestling songs that don't get used as dart songs. Like, it's a Beautiful Life, if you want to go that way. That doesn't get used, but it's, like, iconic. Like, look at how well it's done in wrestling. Keane, if you had to pick a catchy theme song, what would it be?
Billy and Chuck's theme, because that was a fucking banger. Or Finley's theme, but, like, instead of Finley, my name is Keane. Just so you know that my name's Keane, and that instead of fighting, I love to play darts, because that's also one there. And I'd love if everyone's team was that. It was just Finley's team, but with his name replaced with their name, and what they actually like doing. I think it would be a good way to introduce everyone, and I don't know, I think it's a great idea.
Good icebreaker.
And is it Finley is it Finley's voice, but their voice is just dubbed in for the part of their...
Yeah.
My name is Jamie Carragher,
no.
and I love to commentate on football.
It'd be a computer voice. It'd be, like the fucking... My name is Keane. That'd be great.
Peter Wright's theme song is Don't Stop the Party by Pitbull. Yeah. I actually made a wrestling entrance to a darts theme song before, and it went horribly, horribly wrong. I don't know. I don't think I've told this story in the podcast before. Peter One Dart Manley is one of my all-time favourite darts players. I'm a big darts guy, addicted to the... why don't they have the fucking match play on? Like... Why are we watching Sky Sports F1 when there's an actual sports thing on at the moment?
Wait, what's on?
The match play.
The match play darts.
Oh, okay.
It's really good this year and all, but yeah, I'm raging. But yeah, I love the darts. Yeah, so Peter One Dart Manley is my favourite because similar reason to Peter Wright, he actually embraced the wrestling side of it, but he was a heel. He came out to Is This the Way to Amarillo, but he came out like a dickhead. So he did the shalala walk, and then like he get up and he get booed out of the fucking building every time because he did actually cheat your matches. Like he became the biggest heel in the World Championships one year when like Adrian Lewis, who's like a 2-time world champion now, but like was. He was like a 19-year-old kid, and he was like Phil Taylor's protege, but everyone loved him because he looked like a kid. He had a baby face. He still kind of does, except he's got also like darts. I've had a hard life face as well now, mixing it. It's very pink. Very blood pressure isn't great in the darts world. But he was just a kid, and Peter Manley just kept putting him off during shots and just speaking to him and chatting to him to the point that Lewis like had a bit of a tantrum and like stormed off stage, and then Peter Wright's like, I don't know what happened, and then the crowd just turned on him, and then like he ended up beating Adrian Lewis because he just got in his head, and then the rest of the tournament he just came out and the boos were louder every night, and he just milked it to Is This the Way? And it was like and his name is One Dart, and he like in the sha la 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 la, he do like the darts motion because it's like one dart. It was fucking epic. Like, so we decided to rob this, me and my tag team partner at the time, and one time we were in the Forum in Waterford. Tony Kelly was probably there. He used to go to those shows back in the day. Bruiser, we were in the second match. We were in a tag team, and Bruiser and Manson were in the first match, and they went out and tried to do a comedy match, and we had this big comedy entrance planned, and literally like as they came to the back, like so in wrestling, like the people in the first match might kind of, especially if it's a new town, they might kind of come back and give you a heads up on what the crowd's like work over this side, they're loud, or don't do this or do that. So they came back and they're like, do not do fucking comedy, we just died on our fucking arses out there, don't do comedy, everything serious, they're a proper smart wrestling crowd. Literally, we're second match, I could hear the music, it's like sha la 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 da, da. And I'm like, oh god, we have a whole entrance, and I just got, and then like I was the experienced one, so my tag team partner turns around and he goes, what do we do? I go, be aggressive. And then he's like, put the music. I'm like, we've got no choice. Do you have to come out when we're like typical heels? We're like, fuck off. And then it's like, is this the way to or shut your mouth? It was just, and like the promoter didn't get meta humor. I didn't get that kind of stuff where you're being creative there. Like, heels should like grimace at the crowd and faces should smile and go, come on. They're real traditional in that sense, so they hated what we were going for. So I didn't want to get it wrong, so I just bailed like as soon as, but it looked really weird. But yeah, it was fine in the end. El Flaco Blanco got on and says, does Corporate King have any words on the untimely retirement of Hooch?
I was devastated when I heard this, because when I want to go to their wrestling, you know, I'm going for Hooch. That's the draw for me. Anyway, I don't want to speak for anyone else, but for me, that was the draw.
What was your favourite memory of Hooch?
Of Hooch?
Yeah.
When he won the title. I thought it was really cool, because he didn't have the title, and then he did, which is pretty cool. I've always wanted to see Hooch versus CBL. That was always my dream, or maybe CBL brings him in as a tag partner, his uncle. Your
dream. Like, if you could pick any one wrestling match in the world, it'd be Hooch against CBL.
I believe this could be true.
Yeah.
Okay, fair enough. Yeah.
I don't know. So I'm glad. I mean, I read his statement. It's on his Facebook, and I'm glad he's happy. You know, I hope he's happy. That's the main thing. But if he ever did want to come back, I would love to see it. So yeah.
There you go. Like, if Hooch, we're reaching out here. If Corporate King was to go to their wrestling show, is this retirement like? Is this a Ric Flair retirement? Is this is this a Terry Funk retirement? Is there wiggle room for maybe one more match just for like Corporate King?
If you're gonna do a retirement match, do it in Dublin. That'd be way easier to get to than like.
Do it in Tallaght.
Yeah, do it.
They're wrestling in the National Basketball Arena in Tallaght.
Tallaght Stadium. Let's go all out, like, you know what I mean? I mean, I'd go. Declan would go. There you go. There's 2 fans already. I mean,
there's your Twitter buzz.
But I'm sure, like, surely you could get a few hundred in Tallaght Stadium, and then if those few hundred bring a few hundred friends, sold out. You know what I mean? I don't know why more people don't do this.
You've helped book a promotion and seen how hard this is to make those assumptions. Foxnell23, Foxy, got on and asked, if you were to become a lucha wrestler, what would your name be? You've had to thought about this before. No. Have you ever done like a lucha gimmick like for a show? Like just throw on a mask and just have a mess?
No, I always wanted to.
Yeah.
I always wanted to do face paint because I always thought it was really cool.
Right.
But like, I'm not very creative. My wrestling name is Katie Harvey. And I regret not changing it to this day because I get very odd messages through Facebook sometimes, and like people track me for weird things.
Ah, shit.
But like, I love the lucha names. Like the girls, like you get like Dark Angel, and you get like all these really cool ones. Like,
what would your cool name be?
I don't know, like.
Think of like a TV show you liked or something like that.
Like
something like that.
I don't know.
An old
Phoenix. No, because that's only in my head because we're going to Phoenix.
It'd be like Phoenix Table.
Yeah, I know. I just say things I see like
Candle Mac.
This is why I'm still Katie Harvey. Like, I'm not creative.
Names are hard. Names are fucking hard. Like, it's ridiculous. Keen, you actually have a cousin, if I remember correctly. Who?
What?
You have a cousin, am I right in saying?
My lucha name would be Dave.
Dave the Luchador.
No, just Dave. That's it. I don't know why all luchadors have to be like El Misteriosi Sankaras or something.
They're the names I love for luchador. I love to be El Rico del Nacho.
Nah, I think you can call yourself Dave and still be a luchador. You know what I mean?
Nacho Libre. I know that's a thing.
The walking head scissors.
El Hijo del Kian, because that's Kian's son.
There you go.
I don't have a son, but like, I still think it sounds. El Hijo sounds cool.
Yeah.
I'm probably pronouncing it wrong as well.
There you go. There you go. It's not a great answer, but it's an answer. Killer Steve W got on and said the fans overreact to Rollins calling himself and WWE the best in the world. Was this not just a modern day version of the sorts of promos world champions like Flair, Bockwinel or Race used to cut about themselves and their companies? We kind of touched upon this, but let's focus in on the people overreact.
It's because it's Twitter, it feels more real than if it was a TV show. Like that's like fans are a lot more like receptive to what they see on Twitter. Did he overreact? Like, I think the anger comes from the fact that it feels kind of patronizing to hear him be like, "No, we've got the best wrestling." When like as a fan, you're kind of like, but like you don't though. Like I've seen it. You know what I mean? It's like that's where I imagine their anger comes from. Did they overreact? Yeah, probably. I don't know. I mean, I wasn't really angry over it. I mean, the lad's just sticking up for his team. You know what I mean? Like, and it might not be the popular team, but it's still like, what do you want him to do? Do you want to turn around and be like, ha, yeah, you guys are right, we're shit? You know what I mean? Like, I don't blame him for feeling that. Like, I don't see why he has to stay silent. And like, I'll admit though, the whole shit talking Moxie thing was a bit bad. But like, as far as like him standing up for himself and his team in this, you know, I'm using like whatever those things are called.
Quotation marks.
Yeah. You know, his team in this war, but like, I don't know. Yeah, I think fans probably did overreact now that I think about it. I mean, but then I could change my mind on that in a few minutes. Like,
okay, fans, was there an overreaction to this?
I didn't even see them react, so I am unqualified.
Blissful ignorance.
But like, everyone does this.
Yeah.
So, no.
It's because WWE aren't the cool guys, so it's like it's not cool when he does it.
Yeah, that's it. Like,
if Will Ospreay says the exact same tweet, but it's about New Japan, everyone's like, "That's the best thing ever." Yeah, well done.
Yeah.
It's just people are dicks these days, and that's just the way it is. It's secondary school. It's literally secondary school.
It's nice to see Seth Rollins take pride in where he works.
Yeah.
Considering he gets so many reports of people shitting on WWE while still working there.
Yeah. Like, both things are true. We did talk about this on the main show, and like the way Rollins is conducting himself in general isn't the best, but also like you can kind of see where he's coming from. He's just getting it wrong. He's getting it wrong in the way that he's doing it, but you can respect where he's coming from, and you can see that if you're an adult, but most people aren't. Wrestling and Twitter is secondary school, and secondary school rules apply where it's like, you're not cool, therefore anything you say is bad, and you're cool, so everything you say is good. So that's the level we're talking here, and it's redundant to judge it and put logic to it. Brown with no, Aina got on and asked, wrestlers who can win matches by doing absolutely nothing, discuss.
I didn't understand this question.
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
I get the reference.
I genuinely don't understand it.
Like they actually do nothing. Like,
who is?
Or they just don't do very
am
much.
I missing that this happened the weekend? I respect people who can do the least amount of work.
I'm going to say Eric Rowan can win matches with one forehead chokeslam. He doesn't even need to do the forehead chokeslam, but he does it anyway for fun. Does that answer the question? I don't know if it does. I don't think it does. I'm really sorry.
Yeah, I'm really sorry. I don't really understand.
Sorry, Aina. If you want to send in context, we'll get to it next week. T Kenny 26-22. This is a lightning round.
Oh, I can.
Who can name the most Royal Rumble winners in 20 seconds? 20 seconds on the clock. Go, Keen.
Big John Studd, Hacksaw Jim Duggan, Hogan, Hart, Luger, Michaels, Austin, Rock, Triple H, Lesnar, Benoit, Cena, Batista, Mysterio, Undertaker, Sheamus, Del Rio, Edge.
Right, you got it. 18. That's pretty good.
Oh, fantastic, because I did not know a lot of them.
Yeah, how is this going to work then?
Well,
we're going to see if I can talk faster, which I can.
That's bollocks.
Impromptu Queen versus Keen here. I love it.
I'm still going to get it wrong. Don't worry.
20 seconds on the clock. 18 to beat. Katie, go.
Hart, Hogan, Vince McMahon, Stone Cold, Randy Orton, Batista, Triple H, Becky,
10 seconds.
Edge.
Don't choke.
Del Rio, Batista again, Triple H again, Stone Cold again.
Clock's ticking.
Keen wins.
Yeah, how'd you get that? I literally went first. I gave you all the answers.
And I think that makes Keen the team captain. At least for now.
No!
At least for now for SummerSlam. We've no points for Queen versus Keen, but we have a winner, so you have to win it back. You have to win. You have to earn the captaincy.
Win it back. She never had captaincy. Always a captain.
Beamon Bruiser got on and asked Sopranos, what are your thoughts on Tony jobbing Christopher out in the car crash? Just rewatching it and still can't get over it.
Never seen it, so thanks for the spoiler.
Yeah, no, it was horrible. Like,
did you watch The Sopranos?
Yeah.
No,
yeah, it was the part where he it did so it shocked me and I was very disappointed.
I thought it was one of the most heartbreaking moments. Sopranos is my favourite TV show. One of the most heartbreaking moments, but also really interesting because you saw, I won't go into too in depth in case you guys decide to watch it, but you saw his point and you saw where he was coming from and you felt it, but it was one of those things which just broadened up the show. The Sopranos is great because, okay, this is the idea of The Sopranos, and this is the best non-spoiler answer I can think of. The Sopranos is like, you follow this character and you follow his family life, so you empathize with him, and he goes to therapy at the same time. So you're like, is he like a guy who was just born into this and he's actually a good guy, or is he a sociopathic, evil fucking prick who's like manipulating everyone around him? And this was a key landmark moment in whatever you thought. Here's the thing, spoilers, they never gave you an answer. They never concluded it themselves. They let you fall on the side you wanted to fall on. Do you sympathize with Tony? Do you still, it's kind of like Breaking Bad at the end, like, are you still with Walt? Like, do you still, like, Walter, I'm taking a loss there, sorry. Are you still with Walter White at the end of it? Do you still kind of empathize with him? Do you see the guy that's at the start of it? It's the same in this, where it's like, he's doing these unforgivable things and these horrific things, but you kind of see his point and you're kind of with him and you're thinking, and this was just, it had to happen. It was always going to go that way. I don't think this, even knowing this happens, it's a big spoiler, but I'm not going to get into how it happens and the circumstances or whatever. It's still worth watching because it doesn't answer anything. It's not a spoiler. It's like, do you remember you turn around, and I thought about this afterwards because I'm rewatching The Wire. Do you remember you turn around and someone brought up deaths in The Wire and you're like, I can't watch it now?
Nothing, I forgot all the names involved.
Grand.
Don't say it.
I won't say it. Well, I got thinking about this afterwards because I'm rewatching The Wire now, and The Sopranos is similar because they came from, The Wire came from The Sopranos, these HBO fucking premiere kind of premium shows. Even if you know the deaths, it's not about the deaths. It's not like The Walking Dead, say, or Game of Thrones, where a death is defining the show. It's about living with the characters who are still alive and following them through their day-to-day life. So you're asking the question, what's it like to be a drug dealer in Baltimore? Or what's it like to be a cop chasing drug dealers in Baltimore? In The Wire, it's like, what's it like to be a gangster? Like, really, what is it like? What's it like to be a gangster who has a family that he cares about and is trying to put food on the table for his kids? And does he have marital problems? Like, because questions that Goodfellas and stuff just don't get it because they don't have the time. They're focusing on the whackings and all the cool stuff, whereas The Sopranos goes into the day-to-day life and lets you live that life with them, so you can still watch that even knowing these spoilers. And I thoroughly recommend it because it's fantastic. The best TV show ever for me. Scott Aspel got on and asked, could you do a Talk Nerdy to Me ranking all MCU movies up until The Far From Home with Jerry, Foxy and Katie? A series, by the way, not just one episode. You're just signing up people's lives here. The answer to that is, I'm not being smart here. We could, yes. We won't, though. The reason why is that's like half a year's worth of podcasts, and there's so much shit to discuss. Like, in terms of Jerry's interest alone, MCU is like 3 or 4 on that list. You know what I mean? So, for like, what you're saying is, can you do an MCU podcast? Because you're asking us to do over 20 shows on a film each. It's an interesting topic, and we definitely will discuss it. But what I like about Talk Nerdy to Me is it can be anything, and I like the direction Jerry's taking it, where it's like, it's not even like traditionally nerdy things. It's like you can be nerdy about Brendan Grace. Whatever you love and are passionate about is that, and it's discussing different people's passions. So I wouldn't go that way with the show. If people want to do an MCU show, I'm not against it. Scott, if you want to do a podcast, fucking do a demo and send it in and see how it goes. Like, I'm not saying if you do a demo, you've got a podcast. It's not like that. There's a long list, actually, like, legitimately. But if you want to, maybe that's an idea you could do. But not with that show. I don't think it would work, personally. Null Knight 4000 got on and said, have you seen the picture of his dog? Okay, so it's a picture of his dog with a knife in its mouth. You probably should have taken it out before getting the picture, but I'm glad you got the picture anyway. And Jonathan asked, on a scale of good boy to dangerous to society, where does my dog Tina stand?
Is Tina a good boy or a good girl?
I think good boy is just the ranking system we're using.
Best boy.
Best boy still.
Yeah.
You're like the ultimate guard dog. Is that how you see that picture?
I just see a dog. Best boy.
Yeah. And I also I love when dogs are named really human, like normal names. I don't know why, I just love it. I love the fact the dog's called Tina. That's excellent work.
It gives it more personality.
Yeah.
Like, you generally do. Yeah, no, I agree with that. Declanbird31 got on and asked, if you were stuck on an island like Lost, the TV show, what would you like to have with you? For me, it would be an unlimited supply of Sambuca and Coke. Drink, not drug, and a phone that has unlimited battery life and unlimited Wi-Fi on it. It feels like you're cheating there. That's a lot.
I was going to say, that was my kind of answer to this. Is like, there's no restriction. You haven't given me a restriction. Like, I mean, you could technically, under that logic, live a better life than what you have now. If you want an unlimited supply of Pringles, that's better than what I have now. Unlimited Wi-Fi that I don't have to top up every 28 days on an island. So, but I have perfect signal because there's Wi-Fi, obviously. That, yeah. I mean, shit. What else? What?
I'd love to live on a tropical island with all of my family and all of my friends and all of the current good resources I have in my life without any of the struggles that I have. And anything that I want to happen would also happen on this fantastical tropical island.
I wouldn't.
You need to add restrictions for these questions, is what we're saying, guys.
I mean,
One thing.
I've always wanted to convert one of the Aran Islands into like a wrestling island. So like, I would love unlimited houses.
Would you not pick a warmer island? Or
A what?
A warmer island?
No, because then you just get a boat out from like fucking wherever. You know what I mean? Are there Aran Islands on the east coast?
No,
West.
Just west.
Off Galway. But do you think they just surround the country?
No, I just didn't know off the top of my head.
Right.
Yeah, I knew there's like, just near. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know.
What's the one off Dublin? Is that Easter Island?
Lambay Island?
Yeah.
Is it?
The one off what?
Lambay Island in Dublin?
There's one off Dublin. You
Oh,
can
then
add
there is
that.
one off the east.
There you go.
Yeah, that one.
Right.
Take that over, like, but politely, obviously. Get loads of houses, unlimited houses.
Minimal murders.
Yeah.
Minimal. I didn't say none. I said minimal.
Then, I don't know, unlimited wrestling rings, unlimited, I don't know, fuel for an airplane, unlimited pilots to fly in, unlimited imports for... I'd have unlimited money. unlimited boats to get to unlimited amount of places. Man,
You need to give us restrictions,
This
man.
is the best question ever. I give it a want.
I want my island to be an exact replica of King's Landing
Oh.
before it got burned.
Yeah.
And I would like to hire all the cast to live there and be in character at all times. Pre-deaths, obviously, as well. So, that would be my dream.
Wait, would you be the queen, or would it be like you're just living there?
I would write scripts for us every evening.
And then, like, when they're acting it out, are they the real people? So is it like Nicholas Coster-Waldau comes to the table like with a fucking Starbucks cup, and it's like, what are we doing today, Katie?
See, they'd have a few hours every evening where they could be themselves, and then it would just be like one of those big like Civil War recreations in America, but every day, and like Game of Thrones.
You are such a nerd. Like, what is that like?
Are you really missing it now? Are you getting?
I said to Bill, I was like, is it too soon to rewatch? I was
Oh.
like, I just want to live in a world where they're all alive again. And he was like, you're a weirdo.
Simpsons WWE got on and asked, what do you think Scott Steiner is doing right now? Probably something mad weird, I bet.
Matt.
It is 4 o'clock in the day where Scott Steiner is.
How'd you know that off by heart?
5 hours.
Don't you always track Scott Steiner?
Oh well, yeah, but like I just
Well, like, assuming that I think he's from New York or thereabouts, isn't he? Am I right in saying that, Katie? I'm looking at you.
No
well, where's
idea.
I mean,
Where's Scott
he could
Steiner
be based somewhere else though. But I mean,
I'd say he's dyeing that patch on his beard.
Yeah.
I feel like he does that at 4 o'clock every day, and then he puts on his chainmail and shouts in the mirror.
He just literally, this is it. What is he shouting? Like, when he's alone? Is it like Bruce Willis? It's like, you are a cool guy.
Yeah,
in
he's
Friends.
psyching himself up, and he's like, the whole world knows you can't do math, but that's okay, because you can do other things. You can lift people up.
what if like Scott Steiner is actually a massive nerd behind the scenes, and he just sits there eating Pringles, watching wrestling? You never know.
So he's you.
Maybe he's like...
It's 4 o'clock where Scott Steiner is, if he's in Michigan right now. Where he's from.
Is he in Michigan?
Yeah.
Maybe he's hanging out with Alison Kay? You never know. Home of the Kings
Seems
and Queens.
unlikely. Yeah.
I don't know. Who else is in Michigan? The Motor City Machine Guns. They're from Michigan. Maybe he's hanging out with them. I didn't prepare this answer.
Yeah, one's one of the ones, surprisingly, that I thought about a lot.
He is definitely topless.
Yeah, I think we can all,
Is
we
he
can all agree
married?
on that.
Is Scott Steiner married?
No, he just has loads of women.
Yeah,
Actually,
that's it.
yeah.
He's like Dan Bilzerian, but a really carny version. Do you know what I mean? Like, he's done it. He's like no skill. He's like doing like
What?
like he's not
What?
like he's like. Did you remember like in 2003 where he tried to do a double axe handle on Test off the fucking apron and like to the outside, and Test was like about 3 foot away, and he still missed and fell on his arse.
Right.
That was 16 years ago.
Yeah. Right. He did that. He clipped his ankle. Test still went down. Still, just it hurt him. You know what I mean? He knew that he didn't have to go all out, use all of his strength. So he used some of his strength, saved it for later on in the match. It's fucking smart.
I like to think he's like your man in Beyond the Mat. He just like does jumping jacks on a little trampoline, and it's a tiny trampoline, and he has like he has about 15 of them in his back garden.
Wait, where?
Because he's a big guy in his back garden in Michigan. He's a big guy, and he gets full on dumbbells, so like he's using 40s each for this, and he jumps on the trampoline and breaks it. And then he doesn't realise that there's a problem with this because he's a big dude and it's a small trampoline. No, and then he jumps on the next trampoline and also breaks it.
He just sounds like one of them dogs who doesn't realise how big they are when they're climbing on your lap.
That's Scott Steiner,
I think Scott Steiner.
And then he goes back in and is small spoon with one of the girls he has lying around, because he's definitely one of those guys who, when he's on his own private time, he's baby spoon. That's 100%. And he just wants to be cuddled. And he's like, do you remember the Unsullied in Game of Thrones, where it turns out they just want to be cuddled?
Yeah.
He's that. He's the big tough guy on the outside, but then they whisper it, like they rub his head, and they have one girl who just rubs his little weird beard, and then tells him like nice things. It's like, you're really strong, and everyone's jealous of you in wrestling, and you're the best. And they just kind of prop up his ego.
I think he's sitting there looking at the Isle of Man flag, being like, why does this lad have 3 legs in 3 different directions? I mean, that
is the most Sheldon Cooper answer I've ever
heard. It confuses me. So it probably confuses him too. I feel like it confuses most people. So he's probably looking at that.
Why do you see Scott Steiner as like you? Do you identify with him as a human? Like,
I think Scott Steiner's a legend. I can't believe you're sitting there saying about the no talent and all that shit. I genuinely, unironically love Scott Steiner. I think he's
really entertaining, but come on.
I like Scott Steiner too.
He is entertaining. I don't hate Scott Steiner. He is entertaining.
Then why are you disrespecting him on your podcast?
I'm just saying, like, he does give off that vibe. He's total little spoon. He is a total little spoon.
I think
he gets home.
No, I
and
think he's a massive spoon. I think he just like hugs the bed in his sleep, like the whole bed. Just lifts I think he lifts in his sleep. I think he lifts his whole house in his sleep with his bare hands.
All right,
man's
fair
a
enough.
tank.
Fair enough. We're agreeing to disagree.
But yeah, to answer your question, Joe, in short, the Isle of Man flag is probably what he's looking at right now.
Last but not least, Irish Slam Dan got on and asked if there was an Irish style Raw reunion, who would be the legends on it?
I think Joe answered this as well on Twitter, where he said the ladies' hero David Zero and nothing else. Madman Manson. I'm going to say the first name I'm going to show.
100%. Who are the other names?
Did it have to be people who are retired already?
No, it could just be like legends. It could just be like throwbacks. Like there were still people who were active wrestlers and doing the indies on Raw.
I got a lot of niche Fight Factory legends
that's
who
what we
I just want to
hear.
see again,
Yeah.
but no one else knows who they are.
Yeah, give us some Robbery Morrissey like and shit like that. Yeah, that's the names we want to hear.
He would be a good one. Yeah.
There we go. So who else do we want to hear? We want, like, in Irish Whip, you have like your Red Vinny, obviously. He's in there.
Man was fucking jacked.
Conor Hurley, outside Easton's. Like, you just cut to a skit of, like, the mid-card mafia just, like, walking along and then going, who's that guy? And they get to the underneath the clock of Easton's and Conor Hurley's waiting there going, I'm still waiting for that fight on boards.ie.
I feel like I shouldn't remember Conor Hurley, but I do.
Have we not told that story on this show before?
I think, no.
Conor Hurley didn't like stuff that was being said about him on boards.ie. Sorry, I thought we'd covered this.
I think I have heard this.
Yeah, he didn't like stuff that was being said about him on boards.ie, so he made an account called Conor Hurley and posted on him. Now, Conor Hurley's a nice guy. I don't mean to shit on him. I had a lot of time for him, and I think he got it harsh. Again, when you see the internet shitting on someone as being shit, and you work within it, and you know the people who actually are shit, you're like, he is like mid-card shit. You know what I mean? And you love this guy who actually is shit. You know what I mean? It's not fair. But he used to get it. And then, like, he just got pissed off and triggered, and he challenged the people who were criticising him to a fight outside Easton's. Instantly became a massive meme in the Irish wrestling scene and was never seen again. That was it.
Fun fact, the first match I ever saw live, ever, had Conor Hurley in it. So that's how I fell in love with wrestling.
Who would these people interact with, though? Who would the ladies' hero, Dave Zero? Whose promo would he interrupt?
Like, the mid-card mafia and Unknown are locks for this.
Yeah.
Like, absolutely. Owen Richards is a good one to be interrupted, I think.
Oh, like, he'd interrupt Dave Zero. Because Dave Zero's character was always like, he's cocky and he's a ladies' hero, but really he's a guy from Blanche who lives in his ma's thing, and he's just, it's a gimmick. That was his gimmick, where he was like, that he was doing a gimmick. And like every now and then, like his ma would interrupt the promo. He's like, "Shut up, man! I'm doing a wrestling promo," and that was his gimmick. So Owen Richards just comes out and belittles him and ruins that, and then like he actually fights back.
Dano O'Mahony. That's the lad that needs to be on this.
Finley.
Yeah, I mean you could put Finley in there. Finley, I'm trying to stay away from like the obvious. Like Finley is such an obvious one. Like the first name that popped in my head when I saw this was like Finley. Don't say Finley. Don't say Finley.
Lee Callahan.
Yeah, yeah.
The establishment.
Yeah, just like a press conference in the back, it just cuts to it.
Oh yeah, let's.
And nobody's like, Lee Callahan's like doing a big dramatic press conference, and the camera pans around. And there's one person there. Lycan's just sitting there clapping. Go promo, boss. Yeah, is there anyone else? Any other old 5RG names we're forgetting?
Oh, who does I'm thinking Cork has just opened the whole like. Who's your man? With the mask.
The Executioner?
No.
Shot.
Yeah, him. Throw him in there. Or is that what I'm thinking of? I think that is what I'm thinking of. Yeah, I don't know.
There's so many guys.
It's so open. Like there's so many you could like.
Last but not least, Dana also sent in a picture. We usually only take one question per person, but his question's nailed it this week, so we're going to give him a second. Of the Reservoir Dogs side, so you had Maxer, Tony Kelly, Debbie Keitel, CT Flexer. I don't know why they work, but they do. He left Mr. Pink, Steve Buscemi, and he said, who completes the team? So an Irish wrestler, that is Steve Buscemi from Reservoir Dogs.
Sorry, to go back to the last question. Hooch. Sorry. Fuck. That's the ultimate answer to that. Jesus.
There we go, yeah.
Sorry.
Steve Buscemi, so have you seen Reservoir Dogs?
No.
Alright, have you seen Reservoir Dogs?
No.
Steve Buscemi's character he's the pussy who's like trying to get everyone. He's like, we need to get out of here, guys. We need to get out of here. Everyone's like trying to be a tough guy and trying to like threatening to shoot each other and kill each other. And he's like, we need to be professionals, but he's also right. So he's the guy who's kind of like, he doesn't want to fight. He doesn't want to be a badass. He doesn't want to be a tough guy, but he's coming up with the strategy. Like he's actually the only one thinking straight, only one thinking intelligently.
Looking at my Irish wrestlers list.
I feel like just scanning the list of.
So who's smart, strategic, but not badass in any way?
Smart, strategic, and not
like
badass.
Character-wise, we don't have to call.
I made your list.
Yeah, that'd be a bit. If I left you off that list, that would actually be a bit hard.
That's
even
actually
for me.
insulted. Who's not a big fighter in Irish wrestling?
Who's not a big fighter?
Yeah, even character-wise,
or
it can be realistic.
I don't know. STOG. I just saw it there as I was closing this, so I'm going to say STOG. I don't really have any reason for
Solid
it.
pick.
He wasn't. He was kind of like he was a gaming kind of nerd character, wasn't he?
Yeah.
And then like he never started shit.
But was he a good strategic? Was he like a professional who's always thinking in the right way? Who's someone who?
Ooh, Owen Mason. Strategic, clever, smart, plans things out.
There you go. Owen Mason. The champ. He's
Sure.
cleaning
Champ.
up for
I
awards.
mean, he's going to lose on SummerSlam, but to even get that far is pretty cool if you ask me.
Guys, we need more questions. So tweet us in that hashtag low blows, and we'll be back next week with some road stories if Corbett Keane and Katie Harvey are still talking. But until then, for Corbett Keane, for Katie Harvey, I've been Rick Nash, and that's the bottom line, because Lobo said so.